sort of the exemplary part of the locker room. Obviously, Jayden Daniels' arrival has totally changed the trajectory of this franchise, but Terry McLaurin was the kind of player that did everything right during the most difficult times for Washington RC. This was a must-do to get done. I'm glad they found some middle.
Yeah, for me, it's about common sense prevailing, about understanding what Terry McLaurin means to this team, not only with his production and what we see on the field, but what he means to this team in the locker room, how he helped a young Jayden Daniels become the offensive rookie of the year. And the one thing you don't want is to have this team set back by not signing one of their best football players, but also one of their best people. And if you're the Washington Commanders, you're trying to figure out how to make back-to-back playoffs since the last time I won the 12-year-old Little League championship as a quarterback of the Terrytown
12-year-old Little League
football championship.
What position?
Quarterback.
Yeah.
I was the quarterback. Absolutely.
A lot of options.
Let's get to some more top stories with Shefty. Terry McLaurin, not the only person looking for a new deal. Tell us what's going on with Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons also would like a new deal, but he and the Cowboys have not discussed one in months. And once again, Micah Parsons not at practice again today. The Cowboys open their season a week from Thursday night, and it doesn't look like Parsons will be able to play. And if he does, he would be limited at best with the fact that the two sides have not been able to get a deal done, and Parsons hasn't practiced all summer. Meanwhile, the Bengals and Trey Hendrickson at least have some dialogue going. They recognize the time on the calendar it is. We'll see if the two sides can figure out a way to get a deal done. They've been trying to get a deal done for the better part of 2 off seasons and really 4 years. If you really look at it, no deal yet. We'll see if they could find a way. And just in to ESPN's NFL Live, the Houston Texans are not going to activate Joe Mixon by Tuesday's 4 p.m. Eastern deadline. He will be moved to the non-football injury active list, or basically he cannot play the first 4 games of the season at least. Now, this has been a very mysterious injury. He essentially was on the non-football injury list, which means it was an ankle injury that wasn't related to something that he did on the football field. He will miss at least the first 4 games, and until somebody says something different, I think there are questions about when and if Joe Mixon will play again this season.
This is absolutely huge news, not only for the Houston Texans as a team, but for third-year quarterback C.J. Stroud. Dan, how big is this news about Joe Mixon?
Absolutely enormous. One of the best backs in football. This is an offense down in Houston that is, to your point, third-year C.J. Stroud, breaking in a new offensive coordinator, Nick Caley, and relatively 5 new offensive starters as a group together. So to not have the premier back attached to that is a big deal. Second of all, we've worked with him long enough. If Shedeur is saying something about the uncertainty
And
of
if
post the 4 games, there's that makes me give a lot of hesitation to what Joe Mixon's future is like going to be after those 4 games.
Yeah, and what scares me about this is Joe Mixon was so important to this team, the physicality that he played with, even on a team that wasn't great up front last year. And so now you're thinking about C.J. Stroud, who has all of these weapons on the outside. That play action game, to me, is going to be a huge part of his success. And I think it takes a big hit without having Joe Mixon on the field. You don't know if it's going to be 4 games or more, but for the hopes of DeMeco Ryans and his team, you definitely hope he's back sooner. They do win the game 19-17. Derek Carr questioned the Browns' decision to pull Sanders late in the 4th quarter. He tweeted, "I need to understand why we don't get to see Shedeur Sanders run this 2-minute drill. Wouldn't you want to see your young QB operate in this situation, get him more reps for the future? I didn't see the whole game, so maybe he already showed enough. Help me understand this." The questioning of Stefanski continued during his press conference availability on Sunday.
Can you address this sort of persistent narrative that that you're trying to sabotage Shedeur Sanders, especially after yesterday and not putting him in for the 2-minute?
Yeah, obviously, I don't concern myself with outside type of things, but I'm committed to his development, just like all of our rookies. So we'll continue to focus on getting our guys better, and that's what we'll stay committed to, and that's what's important to me.
Dan, one thing that sticks out to me, he says, continue to focus on Shedeur's development and all of our rookies. One of those other rookies is Dillon Gabriel. What did you think about the way both of those guys were utilized in this game?
Utilized, they were both given the opportunities that kind of where they were slotted when it comes to their draft selection, and probably their practices have warranted. I think what you saw was one with some bad habits and traits showing up, and then with good habits and traits. This is Shedeur in the fumble. The receiver in motion is going to get open at the top of his break. Ball's got to be out right now. That's NFL timing. That's NFL windows. He holds on to it. It leads to a sack fumble. That's something that he's going to have to grow and develop of understanding how quickly it happens. This one, the defense wins the rep. They call it bootleg. The defender's there. It's first down at the 48-yard line. Instead of throwing it away, we run for a 3-yard loss, and it becomes that 2nd and 12 and a half, 2nd and 13. Okay, now we're 2nd and 13. The ball should get out to the tight end. But now we're running around trying to dance, and again, it's a loss of yardage of 6 yards, and we're hurting the football team. This is Dillon Gabriel, 3rd and 10. The backer up top right near the hash is going to trigger. Look how quickly he plays. Sees that guy vacate. He wants to be in between those two second-level defenders with the ball placed in the tight end. He knows that the tight end's running that 10-yard hook route. Ball's out now. Receiver's not looking for it, guys. This is the anticipation, the NFL timing that matters. That ball is out before that receiver's open, and it's out of his hands in 2 seconds. That's how you minimize a pass rush. This is that thrash sail route, bottom of the screen. You're going to want to throw that deep corner. It's 3rd and 6. 1, 2, 3 hits. The ball's coming out of his hands in 2.3 seconds before Thrash is running that route, and he flattens it. And I always say this. You can have anticipation without accuracy, and you can have accuracy without anticipation. It won't make you good. Can you have the anticipation and the accuracy? Gabriel has that at the NFL world right now. Right now, Shedeur doesn't. He's just got to grow and develop to get that.
Yeah, specific to this game, because we have seen some bright moments from Shedeur Sanders during the preseason and some not so bright moments from Dillon Gabriel throughout the preseason. But this looked like the bad stuff that we saw from Shedeur, Colorado, and the very good stuff that we saw from Dillon Gabriel. 3 separate college stops. Shedeur Sanders did not play with nearly enough urgency. He took more sacks than any other FBS quarterback last season. As far as NFL quarterback standards are concerned, he is an average at best athlete. He's got to understand that he does not have the same level of escapability as other quarterbacks that we are going to see on Sundays this fall. As for Dillon Gabriel, every play that he ran in college football was multiple options within one play. And he's showing that in the NFL, that he can play with a great sense of urgency and make decisions fast enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, I think the big thing is this was never Dillon Gabriel versus Shedeur Sanders, right? This is each player versus themselves. How do they individually process and progress throughout training camp? And if you watch this game and you really tap into the film the way Dan just did,